Hey everybody, it's the start of February, well, middle of February. We are working on trying to limit our erosion problem with this little stream here. This is a spring that starts on our property. It normally flows most of the year, except maybe a month in the summer. Sometimes it'll flow if we've had a lot of rain, and we've had a lot of rain. But the problem is, this stream is right next to our driveway. So as you can see, driveway's there, stream's there, and what's happening is that our stream, the bed of it, is eroding. So I'm going to step down onto a section that's eroded. I'm in the stream bank right now. And as you can see, hopefully, going down. So, as you can tell, this is a very deep stream bed. But what's happening is that it's eroding away, and that's gonna be a problem if it washes away our driveway. So what I'm doing today, I'm gonna try to do some natural erosion control. I'm gonna be live staking elderberry plants. I know elderberry will grow well here because there's wild elderberry about 50 feet that way. The problem is, I do harvest that elderberry, but it's really hard to get to. It's on the other side of the stream bank, and it's surrounded by multiflora rose, which is tons of thorns. So it's really hard for me to access it. So look at this side of the stream bed. Lots of trees growing on it, lots of ferns. That's keeping this stream bed stabilized. Look at this side, nothing. So that's where our erosion problem is, and that's where I'm gonna try to do some live staking. So let's go ahead and cut some stakes, and I'll show you how to do it. Here is a wild elderberry plant, very distinctive bark. At least I think it's very distinctive. So I did put a video out last week where I was making starts. Those are a little bit different than live staking. With live staking, you actually want the stakes to be 2 to 3 feet. So you want probably 3 to maybe 5 buds on your elderberry plant. So this here is my first live stake, and if you notice, I've cut the bottom at an angle, and I'm also leaving a bud at the bottom. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to hammer this stake in probably to about 2/3, and this is going to hopefully form the root bed for the elderberry. Now this is only one. I'm hoping to get maybe 25 of these today. There's a bunch of elderberry growing here. Again, really hard for me to get to. Lots of thorns and roses, and it's just too hard for me to harvest. So I'm gonna move these to the other side of the stream bed, help my erosion, and hopefully make it easier for me to harvest future elderberry fruit. Let's cut some more. So I had plans to do a time lapse of me harvesting all of my live stakes, but I tell you what, there's so many thorns over there that a time lapse even would have been so slow. Most of the time I was cutting thorns and not elderberry starts. But I got a nice big pile here. Again, if you have room to experiment, go ahead and experiment. I am going to cut off all of these side branches here. And sometimes maybe a side branch I might use as another start. Now I gotta make a decision. You wanna cut the buds, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably going to be a stake that's on the bigger side. But I'm going to leave it. This is probably as big of a stake I will have, and I at least want 3 sets of buds, so I can get 2 sets of buds in the ground, and those will become the roots hopefully, and the other set of buds will become our new set of leaves. So let's go ahead and do one of them fancy time lapses here, and I'll make my stakes. So here's all of my live stakes. Something kind of cool, if you can see, as I was cutting, I found a praying mantis egg sac. So there could be hundreds of praying mantises in here. I'm actually gonna just put this back where I found it. That's a good sign of a healthy farm if you got praying mantises. So again, our property, we don't spray. We try to use organic practices as best we can. We got bat houses, honeybees. We really don't spray, mainly because of our animals and our honeybees. You don't want to feed your horses any type of pesticides that have been sprayed on plants. So just not a good thing to do for us. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get these babies in the ground. And again, I'm hoping all of these make. Even if some of these take, I will be more than happy. Since I got the elderberries, I can experiment. There's some that are maybe shorter than others. There's some that still have some branches on them, but I'm okay with that because I already have these on my property. I'm just trying to expand what I already have. So let's go ahead and get to live staking. So I am on the edge of our driveway on our eroded bank, and here I got my live stakes. These are probably a little bit thicker in diameter than I would use for my elderberry starts. And normally with an elderberry start, I just have 2 sets of buds. I leave 1 for roots and 1 for leaves. But the purpose of the staking is to really get the stake in there so that it has potential to get a nice strong root bed. So I of course want elderberries, but I also want to protect my eroding stream bed here. I actually got another part on the farm where I'm doing a more official planting of elderberries. I have it mulch, it's in a tiered garden on a hill. So those are the elderberries I care more about for harvesting. And if I can harvest these, great, but I also want to preserve and maintain my stream bed. And again, this is organic, no duh. So the best thing to do is just really jam it in there as best you can. You can use a mallet or a hammer. I also got this little pry bar that I use. I just push it in. That really gets it started for me. And try to get this in as good as I can. And this is the start of my live staking process. So I'm gonna get the rest of these in, hoping to preserve my stream bed. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you got any questions or if you've used live staking before, there's other plants you can use that are really good for live staking. Most willow, some types of dogwood are really good for live staking for erosion control. Living in the mountains, you gotta think outside the box. We don't have any real flat land for the most part, so we want to work with nature as best we can. Until next time, keep on dreaming.